Kia ora, my name is Georgia and this is my bookshelf. If you'd like to see any other books that I've read recently, do check out my Goodreads. I love looking on Goodreads. It's like my biggest obsession at the moment. First of all, like one of the first books that I read this year was Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. Now this one I listened on Audible on a really long car ride home, and it was after the Christmas holidays, so it was, I don't know, I think it was a really good time to listen to Simon. It is like one of my favourite books ever now. It's just so gay and fluffy and adorable. Like, I love how it was written and it just made me so happy. And you've probably heard about the movie Love, Simon, because it is everywhere at the moment. So the movie is based on the book. I have extremely high hopes for Love, Simon. I haven't seen it yet, so fingers crossed. But I just fell so deeply in love with all of the characters and I love Blue. It's just the best and I'm just here for the gay. Next I read A General Theory of Oblivion by Eduardo Agalusa, and it is just so beautiful. Basically it's about a woman called Ludo. It's like during the Angolan independence, and there are a lot of events which end up with Ludo becoming agoraphobic, and she just completely contains herself to her apartment. And you really get the sense that you're like closed in with her, but slowly the rest of the world comes and makes its way into Ludo's apartment. There are major trigger warnings for violence and sexual assault, so big trigger warnings, but it is really beautiful and it's quite short, so if you like me also enjoy short books, I would recommend. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I'm sure you have heard about this absolutely everywhere. It really is worth all of the hype and the praise. I think that it's so important and it's so well written, and I love the way that Angie Thomas writes dialogue. And I think that it's also really important in that it is an own voices novel, and I think that's just as important as the context of the novel itself, and it just made me really aware of my own privilege. And I think one of the most heartbreaking parts of it is that it's a reality. And I read this when I was meeting an internet friend for the very first time, my lovely friend Kate, so I think it will always be at least a little tiny bit special to me because of that. And then I read The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslye Walton, and it is just as the title suggests. Leslye dazzled me from start to finish, and I am so in love with generational stories at the moment because we've been doing a lot of my personal family history, and I think that's so cool and it's so interesting to find all that stuff out. So it begins with the Rowell family and then makes its way all the way down to Ava Lavender herself. There are big trigger warnings on this one as well. It can be quite graphic, so focus a little bit on the beautiful sorrows part, and I love how clever the title is as well. I would highly recommend if you love magic like I do and generational stories. And then we have A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I have again kind of seen this everywhere and I just felt like I needed to grab it, and I got it for Christmas, which is so exciting, and it really didn't disappoint. I love the way that V.E. Schwab does her world or London building. I think that it's so well done, and I love Delilah Bard. She is just the perfect morally grey female character that we don't see enough of. And then I read The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman, and this I actually haven't read Practical Magic, but I am told that there is a film, which I haven't seen, because I'm trying not to spoil myself, but I really loved this. Basically, it is about 3 children who are the descendants of a witch who was persecuted in the Salem witch trials, and it's kind of cursed their family, and they start to figure out their own magical abilities. And then I read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Saenz, and it is stunning. It really is. I've read a lot of reviews where people say that they didn't like the main character, which is Ari. I loved him, and I thought that the portrayal of toxic masculinity in terms of showing emotion in men was really well done in this novel, because we have 2 juxtapositions, which are Ari's dad and Dante's dad, and Ari and Dante themselves, and it just has a whole ton of really important themes and a very cute gay story. And then we have Lost Lake by Sarah Addison Allen. So I volunteer at a bookstore, and this was staring at me for 3 days until I finally caved and bought it, and I do not regret anything. It again has my favourite generational story theme. But yes, this is so beautiful. It is mainly about Kate and her daughter Devon and how they deal with the passing of Devon's father and Kate's husband, and they just kind of find refuge in Lost Lake. And then a few days ago I read Almost Midnight by Rowell, and I love Rainbow, but I kind of forgot about how much I love her until I read this. And I'm a little bit late because it is themed towards New Year's and Christmas kind of time, but Rainbow just knows how to write nerdy love stories, and she just writes cute and fluffy so well, and it makes me so happy. And now I just want to reread Fangirl and Carry On, and I need the Carry On sequel in my hands right now. I will sell my soul for a Carry On sequel. And then I am currently reading Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and I know absolutely everyone and their mother has been talking about this, and I've just finally gotten around to it. I like that there is pretty good mental illness representation in here. I don't know, I haven't read John Green in about 4 years, so this is kind of strange coming back to his writing. I like it. I think John Green is a YA staple for a reason, and I know a lot of people like to shun whatever is popular or that a lot of people enjoy, and I don't know, I think we all have to make our minds up for ourselves. I'm liking it, and that's all that matters. But yeah, that's about all of the noteworthy ones. I do have others, but yeah, please do feel free to add me on Goodreads. I don't have very many friends in real life or on Goodreads, so hit me up. Yeah, I hope you have a really good day.